Hey everyone, and welcome to Gospel Newsroom, your new daily source for Christian news. We're so excited to bring you headlines from around the Christian world, keeping you informed and inspired. Join us each day as we explore faith, community, and the impact of Christianity worldwide. Let's stay connected and grow together.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into the contemporary Christian world based on a bunch of recent reports and articles.
Right, and our aim really is to pull out the most, significant or maybe even surprising things happening for you.
Exactly. There's a lot here. We're talking big leadership changes, signs of maybe revival, also faith in public life, and some pretty tough global challenges too.
It's a very broad picture, isn't it? Things happening right at the top, but also very much at the grassroots level, and how faith interacts with, wider society.
Absolutely. Let's jump straight in with that big leadership news. Cardinal Robert Prevost from the U.S., he's been elected Pope Leo XIV.
Mm-hmm. That's huge news. The first American pope.
It really is. And there were early reports, weren't there, that the conclave didn't decide on the first ballot.
That's right. So his eventual election perhaps suggests, a certain level of agreement formed around him.
A U.S. pope. That could mean a different focus, maybe? Issues prominent in the Americas, perhaps?
It could, potentially. A different perspective in the Vatican, certainly.
Okay, so shifting from, the very top leadership, we're also seeing these reports of huge baptism events.
Yes, this one really stands out. Huntington Beach, California.
Over 7,750 people baptized. In one day.
Apparently so. They're calling it the largest single-day baptism in U.S. history, part of that Baptize America initiative.
Wow. What does a number like that? What does it signify, do you think?
Well, it's clearly a powerful, very public declaration of faith for a large number of people. Whether it signals a wider revival, I guess time will tell.
Yeah, context is everything.
But it's definitely noteworthy. And interestingly, there are also reports suggesting a shift in the U.K.
Oh.
Yeah, after what was described as a period of hostility towards Christians, there seems to be maybe a greater openness to the gospel now. A remarkable spiritual shift, one source called it.
That's quite a contrast. So, okay, we have these potential signs of growth or change, but also faith communities are, very active in public debates, right?
Very much so. The intersection of faith and politics is always there. Figures like Donald Trump come up in discussions, for example.
And religious liberty seems a major focus. Groups like the Christian Institute providing legal help.
Exactly. That's a key concern. And it often plays out in these, social issue battlegrounds.
Like gender identity, books in school libraries.
Abortion, assisted suicide. These are areas where you see a lot of legal action, legislative efforts, driven by deeply held beliefs.
But it's not all happening in the West. The sources also highlight some really worrying global trends.
Yes, unfortunately. Growing persecution, particularly mentioned regarding evangelical Christians in Ukraine.
And concerns in Russia, too, about religious freedom generally.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it? How vulnerable religious minorities can be, especially in conflict zones or politically unstable areas.
And other global pressures mentioned, things like aid cuts, the impact of groups like Boko Haram.
Right. These have very real consequences for people on the ground, including faith communities.
So if we look inside the churches themselves, it sounds like, a complex picture.
Definitely. You see reports on leadership controversies, debates over doctrine. Some denominations are growing. Others report declines, like falling enrollment. It's not uniform at all.
A mixed bag, then.
Very much a mixed bag.
Yeah.
But you also see ministries actively tackling social issues, gang violence, human trafficking. That practical side of faith.
And those personal stories, individual testimonies of conversion, they're still a core part, it seems.
Absolutely central to the experience for many.
It's also interesting how faith pops up in culture and even tech now.
Yeah.
While Christian themes or people in entertainment American Idol mentioned, the Chosen series comes up.
Right, that cultural presence.
And even discussions about AI, artificial intelligence, and the ethical side of it for people of faith.
That's a fascinating intersection, isn't it? How these ancient traditions grapple with cutting-edge technology.
Yeah.
The ethics of AI raise huge questions about, what it means to be human.
Yeah, big question.
From a faith viewpoint, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try and pull this together. It seems the contemporary Christian landscape is, incredibly dynamic. You've got the first U.S. Pope, these reports of huge baptisms.
Alongside serious global persecution, internal church debates.
And this constant engagement with politics, culture, and now even things like AI.
Exactly. It's multifaceted.
Yeah.
So thinking about all these different threads, the leadership shifts, the revival signs, the challenges, the cultural engagement, what does this all suggest to you about where Christianity might be heading globally?
That's the big question, isn't it? It seems to be evolving constantly in so many different directions at once. Something definitely for you, our listeners, to think about.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Gospel Newsroom today. We hope you found these updates insightful and encouraging. Please subscribe to our podcast so you never miss the latest news from the Christian world. Share Gospel Newsroom with your friends and family, and don't forget to leave a comment on our episodes. Your feedback helps us improve and spread the good news even further. Let's stay informed and uplifted together.